Hi all, welcome to session 3 on binary search. Let's quickly recap on what happened in session 1 and session 2. In session 1 we have introduced the basic structure of binary search problem, which is minimize k subject to condition k is true, and this condition k is a monotonous condition which we have elaborated in session 2, and session 1 and session 2 include the steps involved in solving a binary search problem. The first step is identification of the search space. The second step is looking at the condition. To be more specific, the monotonic condition for the problem in the search space. And then later we ask question to formulate the condition, and we code it, and we specify the return value of the problem. And when we return something, we just look at the problem statement and return appropriately. For example, when we look at minimum value with a feasible condition, we return L, otherwise we return L minus 1. And here L is the first position where the given condition is satisfied. Let's look at a problem. The first problem of this session. So given an array piles, there are n piles. Each pile represents the number of bananas in a pile. So there are set of banana piles, and each pile has a certain number of bananas associated with the pile, and we have a certain hours of time to finish these piles. I mean to say that we are going to eat all of them, eat all these bananas, and what we need to find is the minimum eating speed to finish all these piles within the specified time h hours of time. A key thing to note is in any given hour we are going to choose only one pile at a time. Let's say our eating speed is 10 bananas per hour, and the available piles have 5 bananas each. We are going to touch only one pile and finish 5 bananas and stay there. Although our speed is more than our availability, which is 5, we are not going to take another pile. That is a condition. That's how the problem is stated. So let me repeat the question. We have some number of piles. Each pile is a banana pile, and there is a certain number of bananas associated with each pile. The piles array has this information, and given a number of hours to finish eating. So this h is defined as the number of hours to finish the piles, and we need to find the minimum eating speed to finish all these piles in the given number of hours, h. So the first step is identification of the search space. So we will look at two extremes. The first extreme is all the piles are eaten in a single day. So this happens when our eating speed is greater than or equal to sum of piles. And another extreme is none of the piles can be finished. So when this eating speed is less than 1, that is we are not eating at all the bananas are left, and our objective will not be fulfilled. So when our eating speed lies between 1 and sum of piles, our objective can be achieved, and we want to minimize the eating speed such that our eating speed lies between 1 and sum of piles. The reason we look at search space is that any point out of the search space is infeasible. Infeasible, I mean that our objective to eat here, our objective to eat and finish all the piles is not achieved. So we look at our search space, and here our search space is our eating speed should be between 1 and sum of piles per hour, in between them. Our next step is we look at the condition. So we look for a monotonic condition, and here our monotonic condition is based on a statement. All the piles, let's assume that all the piles of bananas can be finished with a eating speed V. This implies that all the piles of banana can be finished with eating speed V star, which is greater than the previously stated eating speed V. So by this statement we can say all the piles can be finished with speeds more than the existing speed, assuming that the given speed helps in eating all the piles of banana within our stated time. So our question will be, given the eating speed, will all the piles of banana be finished in the given number of hours h? So this is the condition, and we code this condition using a function will finish given speed v, which returns a boolean whether we will be able to finish all the bananas given the number of hours h. Will finish for given speed. So this is the okay. So given our eating speed, the first step we'll do is calculate the number of hours required to eat all the piles of banana. Let's say it is h min. Okay, so when this h min is smaller than the given parameter h, that means we are taking even smaller time compared to the existing number. So we can say all the piles of banana can be eaten in h min, which is smaller than h. Else at least one pile of the banana is not eaten completely. Yes. So we'll code this condition like this. So for a given speed, for a given pile, bananas is defined, and these bananas when eaten at a speed v takes bananas by v hours at least. If it is in a proper multiple, then it is bananas by v, and if it is not a proper multiple of v, then there are some leftover bananas which have to be eaten in the next hour. So we take the ceiling of bananas by v. So for every pile we have bananas, and we accumulate these number of hours and find, and we update h min, thereby we get the number of hours required to eat all the piles. If our given parameter for the algorithm h, which is the permissible hours, if h min is less than that, we return true, else false. So thereby we have the condition ready. So the question here is, can we finish all the piles of banana in h hours? So we have defined our search space, which is L is equal to 1, R is equal to some piles, and the condition will be will finish for a given speed, and we return L since we want to find the minimum eating speed which satisfies the condition. So which is a feasible value, so we return L. And the rest of the code is just from the template. To be more familiarized with the template, I request you to look at the first session. So as usual, the first step includes updating the first line, and the second condition is used on midpoint, and the last return statement is here. So let's look at second problem. Second problem of this session is given an array bloom day, which is an array of the day on which a given flower blooms. So we have, let's assume the length of bloom day array is n. We have n flowers, and the number present in ith position of bloom day is the bloom day of ith flower. That's why we have written flower day I. So given bloom day array and number of bouquets to make, the bouquets contains, each bouquet contains k flowers, and we have a condition that we need all these k flowers in adjacent manner, so they have to be continuous. So the question here is, we need to find the minimum number of days required to finish all these m bouquets. So we have a assumption here for the problem that we have enough flowers to make all the bouquets of k size. So each bouquet has k flowers and we have m bouquets. So if the array is smaller than m into k, then we can for sure say that the m bouquets cannot be finished. But our assumption is the length of bloom day array is greater than or equal to m into k. By that way, we are guaranteed that we finish the m bouquets of flowers. So the first step is identification of the search space. So we look at two extremes. What is the first extreme? That the first extreme is we have enough days available at our disposal such that all the flowers are available, and given our assumption, we can say that all the bouquets can be made. So the other extreme is none of the flowers will bloom. Okay, so that happens when our available days is very less. When we don't have any flowers at hand, we cannot make any bouquets. Thereby, that's another extreme. So when does these extremes happen? The first extreme happens when the number of days is greater than or equal to max of bloom day. When we have the number of days more than or equal to the max of bloom day, all the flowers are available. So we have all the flowers available, and given our assumption that all the flowers are available and the number of flowers are more than enough for us to make the required number of m bouquets, we can we can say that all these bouquets are made. So our objective is accomplished. So that's an upper bound for us, and the lower bound will be if the number of days available is less than the min of bloom day, we have no flowers at our disposal, because the bloom day of any flower is not met. So we don't have any flowers, and none of the bouquets not even a single bouquet can be started. So our search space for the number of days will lie between min of bloom day and max of bloom day. Looking at out of these regions will not be the optimal answer for us. For example, looking for days more than max of bloom day is not optimal, and when we have no flowers at our disposal, that is when D is less than min of bloom day, our objective is not accomplished. So the next step is finding the condition. So what is the condition, and is there a condition for this problem which is monotonic? Yes, we do have it. That will help us. We help ourselves defining a condition by stating this statement, an implication statement. If we can make the required number of bouquets M of size K in D days, we can safely say that we can accomplish the same task in D star days, which is D star greater than D. So by having this statement, we can formulate our condition. Given the number of days D, can we make M bouquets of size K in D days? So by that, our condition is ready, and we give a name for this condition, can make, with input days D, and we return a boolean value which says that we can make it or not. So given number of days D, the first step is we calculate the number of bouquets of size K that are made, that will be able to be made. So let's say we are able to make M min number of bouquets of size K. If we have made M min bouquets more than the existing parameter M, which is required number of, so we have already exceeded our objective, and we can say that all the bouquets can be made in D days. Else, at least one of the bouquet is short, so we say all the required M bouquets cannot be delivered. So we code this way. So we keep a variable called flowers available. So for every flower we have a blooming day, which is flower day. If the flower day is less than the available number of days, so we keep a count of flowers available for the adjacent flowers. So we increment the number of flowers. So when incrementing the number of flowers, we count only the adjacent flowers which bloom with our parameter D within the D number of days. So let's say we have a certain number of flowers, only those flowers are when continuous can be used. So that's the reason we have put a condition flower day less than D. If that condition is not met, we keep saying that we have got a flower which exceeds our available number of days, which doesn't bloom within our last day. We reset our available number of flowers to 0, thus ending a continuous streak of available flowers. Our variables for the function mmin and flowers are updated, and mmin is updated saying that flowers by k, which is the size k, gives the number of bouquets that can be made with the existing continuous number of flowers. So mmin is updated, and flowers is also updated because we are using already a multiple of k, let's say p number of bouquets are made with with flowers, and the remaining number of flowers can be used for the next iteration, for the next bouquet. So we save these flowers as flowers is equal to flowers per mod k. So once we have finished processing all the flowers, we compare m min with our parameter m, and if it exceeds, we return true, else false. So our problem is, can we make m bouquets of size k? We have the search space defined, which is L is equal to minimum of bloom day, R is equal to max of bloom day. We have our condition defined, can make for a given d days. Since we want to find the minimum number of days which satisfies our condition can make d, we return L. So this code follows our standard template, first stating in the first line the search space, and our condition is used with mid, and we return the L. This is the end of the session. Thank you. In this session, we have discussed two problems based on our previously learned ideas. So more problems coming up. Thank you.